Have you turned a blind eye to sleaze, Prime Minister?
The PM back on home soil and familiar ground as he emerges to confront yet another scandal for Number 10. Facing question over what he knew and when after appointing a former whip, now suspended as a Tory MP after accusations of drunken groping.
Global price rises.
But last week's diplomacy a world away from the predicament the PM's now in over his handling of harassment claims.
We are facing a domestic economic crisis, a global security crisis, and the Prime Minister is facing his own political crisis. So can he tell the House what precisely is his plan?
Our plan is to help the people of this country, as we are, with the cost of living, with £1,200 coming into people's bank accounts.
Downing Street insists Boris Johnson didn't know about any specific allegations relating to Chris Pincher before bringing him into the fold. But opponents say it's not good enough and argue this politician shouldn't have been anywhere near government. The PM claims regarding Chris Pincher, he wasn't aware of specific allegations, he was aware of rumours. As a lawyer, do you have some sympathy with that?
I've got no sympathy with the Prime Minister who repeatedly makes bad judgment calls. This is not the first time we're having this discussion about a Prime Minister who makes bad judgment calls, who puts himself before his country.
So you wouldn't have appointed Chris Pincher?
No, I certainly wouldn't.
Trying to put clear blue water between himself and the PM, while the Labour leader also trying to distance himself from his own Brexit past, the former figurehead of Remain now planting his flag on Tory turf. Do you rule it out, then, returning to the single market in your lifetime? Do you rule it out?
We're not going back. We're not going back into the EU, not going back into the single market, customs union or freedom of movement.
So, in your lifetime and my lifetime, we're never going back into the European Union?
Beth, we're going forwards, not backwards. We're not reopening those divisions. I've ruled it out, I think, 3 times in this interview.
OK. After a bruising few weeks of resignation letters and by-election defeats, this is another headache Boris Johnson could have well done without. And it raises questions again about leadership in Number 10, not just over the handling of this scandal in recent days, but also over why this MP was put in that position of power in the first place. And the questions keep coming. Sky News understands that Carrie Johnson openly questioned the suitability of Chris Pincher becoming a whip back in 2017 when she was working for Conservative campaign headquarters. Boris Johnson then looking increasingly isolated in ever thinking that this appointment was OK at a time when he can ill afford to alienate any more of his own MPs. Surviving Tory whips leaving Downing Street earlier today, trying to get a grip on the party and shore up the PM. But questions over this saga and Boris Johnson's role in it are not going away. Beth Rigby, Sky News, Westminster.